Okay.
All right, so we are booming, folks, and we are ready to roll. This is episode 41 of Arknolia and the Doctor. YR will be calling in later on after in a couple of minutes. He's on the phone with a buddy of his. Okay, so in our 1970s music catalog continues right now. We've explored the country rock, semi country rock scene. We explored the individual artists who used to be in groups. And now we're just going to focus on the solo artists during the 1970s there. And
And we may bleed over in the 80s and 90s. It depends on the artist.
yeah, and we also got later on, we got some couple updates on both Quiet Riot. They're going to be heading out on the road doing some shows this year after the passing of their drummer Frankie Benali last year. And we're also going to be updating on the arrest warrant that's been issued on Marilyn Manson not too long ago from a 2019 incident in New Hampshire there. We're going to be taking a look at that now. And okay, so let's see. Let's talk about you said we're looking at the
Still solo artists.
still solo artists there.
Okay, the first one I want to talk about a little bit is Jackson Brown.
Yeah.
Jackson Brown's got a backstory that's, you might look up and verify this for me,
hmm
but I think he had a girlfriend that committed suicide.
Well, really,
I
Jack's.
believe so. A couple
Wow.
of songs are written like that.
Okay. Let me look at. I got his Wikipedia up here. That's he's still around. He's still alive
Right.
there. He's got a little beard now, as we can see here. And he's one of the first people to be signed to Asylum Records, who was put together by David Geffen back in the early 70s there.
Right.
He was emerging as a teenage songwriter in the 1960s Los Angeles. He had success writing for songs for others, including a song called These Days as a 16-year-old, which became a minor
Right.
hit for the group for the German singer and protege of Andy Warhol, Nico, in 1967. He also wrote for bands like the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, who he was a briefly a member of, and of course the Eagles.
Take it easy.
Yeah, that's right. He wrote that song for them as well. Uh, his well-known song includes "Doctor My Eyes," the song "That Girl Can Sing" from 1980, an album he released called "Hold Out," which was a pretty interesting album. He
Yeah.
wrote. He also worked a lot of, did a lot of. He's best remembered for his album "Running on Empty," which was a signature work. That album peaked at number 3 on the album charts and remained there for over a year. It was both a live album and a concept album, and the songs
Hmm.
on there explored the themes of life as a touring musician. And the album was also just about basically recorded on stage. And who cannot forget the version of "Stay," the Maurice Williams
Yeah.
song that's on that album as well.
The load out and stay.
Yep, absolutely. Yep, that was mixed in together. The one of those title compositions that they always do there.
Yep.
He also released other albums in the somewhere in the 1980s, including "Lawyers in Love," "Lives in the Balance," which was featured in the Miami Vice TV series around that year,
Right.
1985. And he was also involved with actress Daryl Hannah for a long number of years, believe it
Yeah.
or not. Yeah. And I know you have a couple. You also who not also bleh, also who cannot forget the song "Somebody's Baby" from the movie Fast Times in Ridgemont High from 1982. I still hear
Yeah.
that song a lot of times on the loudspeakers of my workplace.
Yeah.
hmm Yep.
Okay. My number 10 is Running on Empty. I like
hmm
the song.
This song, yeah. Yep.
My number 9 is something called Redneck Friend.
Yeah. hmm
And my number 8 is he did something called Barricades of Heaven, which is pretty good.
hmm
Number 7 I got is Tender is the Night, which I think is off the Lawyers in Love album.
Yeah, it is. I remember that as well.
Number 6 I got is Boulevard.
Remember that song as well, yeah, from 1980, the album Hold On, as I mentioned.
Yep. And my number 5 is Loadout Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
My number 4 is something called Daddy's Tune, which is a pretty good song. Number 3 is the one that I think it's about a girlfriend that committed suicide. Some called Fountain of Sorrow.
Actually, I don't know about that song, but I'm looking at the information here. The song In the Shape of a Heart from the Lives in the Balance album was inspired by the suicide of his first wife a decade prior. And I think, and because I know you mentioned earlier about the song, it has been inspired by that kind of incident there, and I think this track may be the one you're referring to as.
Yeah, Fountain of Sorrow is definitely a well,
Mm,
heartfelt song, I guess,
it
for
is.
lack of a better term.
It is, yeah.
And my number 2 is Pretender.
The song Pretender for the album the same
Right.
name. Very touching song from him. Very,
Yeah.
very touching track there.
And then my number 1 is something he did called The Fuse.
Mm. Now it's interesting that I should also point this out. His song, his songs were often considered, music with poetry mixed in
Oh,
with
yeah.
them. Yes, in fact, you remember her? You remember the singer Phoebe Snow from the 1970s as well?
Yes.
She wrote a song in his homage called "Poetry Man."
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently, I guess what I understand, she had a crush on him, from what I remember hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poetry Man was a big song by her, too.
Yeah, it was, and wouldn't you know, it was about him. So imagine
Yeah.
if I was Jackson Bob, I'd be blushing like hell, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah,
Yep. But like I said, he's kind of an interesting backstory.
yeah.
Next artist I got is a guy by the name of Bruce Springsteen.
Well, we know this guy like the back of our hands. You know, New Jersey, probably one of the founding boys from New Jersey there, with Southside Johnny at the Asbury Jukes, and of course later John Bon Jovi and his boys there.
Yeah. My number 10 is something called Prove It All Night.
Yep, I remember hearing that on the radio back in the day.
My number 9 is Dancing in the Dark.
Well, yeah, from 1984.
And that was the one, didn't he have,
Courtney
Courtney
Cox.
Cox?
Courtney Cox,
Yeah.
who was involved with, I guess, starred in Family Ties around that time, and also starred in Friends a decade later, the TV series.
Yep. And my number 8 is Hungry Heart.
Yep, from
My
1980.
Yeah. My number 7 is his version of Blinded by the Light.
Yep, which was, of course, we all know Manfred Mann's Earth Band made a big.
That's the big one.
Yep, that became a massive radio hit.
My number 6 is another song Manfred Mann did, Spirits in the Night.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
My number 5 is Born in the USA.
Yep.
My number 4 is Cover Me.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, come on, trying to read my writing. I'm on Fire.
Oh yeah. Well, very interesting song that was. I mean, if you ever saw the video for that track there, something like a romance, and a mystery to it, I guess you could say there.
Yeah.
One of those intriguing storylines when you think about it.
Yeah, my number 2 is Glory Days.
Mm-hmm.
And my number 1 is The Eternal Born to Run.
Oh yeah. Probably one of his biggest albums of all time. You got interesting stuff. But when that album became a big hit, he was not really. It was many people speculated when he was going to come up with a follow-up. They had to wait about 3 years until Darkness at the Edge of Town would emerge. Because
Right.
around that time, he was involved with the legal issues with his then manager. Apparently, his manager was holding on, was getting all the royalty money there, and Springsteen wasn't really get that jack shit. Of course, every artist in the 1970s was going through that, including Black Sabbath and Peter Frampton included.
Yeah.
And it's like, how many, it's like, holy, it's like, and wouldn't you know, he now owned that, I guess he got some, I guess he finally come to compromise. He would get his freedom, and Springsteen would pay his ex-manager a certain amount of bucks. And the guy who praised him, writer John Landau, would later become his manager. And
Yep.
here he is. He's coming on the line right now. The one and only YR. I'll add you back in just as well. Okay, hold on a second. I got you, YR. Here we go. YR, you there, dude? Give it a minute there. What the fuck? It's taking a little bit of time there. It's one of those. What the fuck? There we go.
And I'm expecting that call any day now.
All right. Okay. There we go. Let me get him here. Okay.
Yeah, my bad.
Okay, it's okay, dude. What's up, man? How's it going?
Good. Are you open?
We're open right now. We're live as we speak, man.
Yes.
All right, we're live as we roll, dude. We got a couple items we wanted to discuss on the side about Quiet Riot and Marilyn Manson having a arrest warrant issued on him.
Oh, Marilyn Manson. Yes, I heard
Yeah,
about that.
Yeah, apparently this is something that happened in 2019. I got both articles right up now.
Oh,
They're-
okay.
Okay, sorry about that, Ark. I know it's kind of odd. My Skype is kind of odd. We have to go through all this, to get this people bring in people here. We're doing the list of solo acts in the 1970s. We just got done with Jackson Browne, and we're doing Bruce Springsteen right now.
Which actually we pretty much finished him too.
Oh, okay, that's right. Oh, wow. All right.
Number one would be the end,
Oh,
unless
yeah.
we have other issues.
The end? Oh.
Well,
Oh,
the end of the list.
okay. All right. All right. Got any lists of 1970s rockers, YR?
I mean, look, all the ones you're listing down. You know what I'm saying? Did you get to Sammy Hagar yet?
We will have him.
All
We
right.
haven't got there yet, but we will
When I
have
get
him.
there, I want to dive into that. And other than 70s rockers, I mean, the Rod Stewarts.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, actually, Rod Stewart was next. How'd you know?
There you go.
Let's dive into Rod Stewart. Let's dive into Rod Stewart.
There we go.
Okay, as we know, he started out with the Jeff Beck group,
Yep.
and then he went solo for a while. And
He was also in the Faces.
yeah, he spent a little time in the Faces.
Yep.
I think that was the reason they changed their name, because he wasn't small.
Yeah, that's true there. I guess from what I understand, he was one tall dude, and plus it was like a re-emergence of the group there.
Right. But my number 10 is a song called Young Turks.
We know it from 1981.
Yeah.
And which, by the way, was one of the first top 40, I guess. I figured it was a drum machine when you think about it there, when you really listen close there.
Yeah. This is about the time everybody started using stuff.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, my number 9 is Every Picture Tells a Story.
From the album of the same name.
Yeah. My number 8 is Country Comforts.
Mm.
My number 7 is You're in My Heart.
Oh, yeah.
My number 6 is his version of Drift Away, which is a Dobie Gray song.
Ah, okay. Interesting. I never heard about that.
Well,
I believe
quickly,
it's on Atlantic Crossing.
What?
can I make a list for Sammy? Like
Sure.
Yeah,
like,
go
would he
right
be-
ahead. You could put
Now, can that include Van Halen, or does it have to be Sammy
No, it
solo?
needs to be solo.
It's
All right.
It's solo. Yeah, just remember, 1970s after his departure from Montrose, he was a solo act up
Right.
until his joining Van Halen in '85.
All right, I'll see what I can come. I'll see if I can do 10.
All
But
right,
I'll
there.
I'll come up with that now. Go
That should
ahead.
be pretty easy
Okay.
to do.
Mm-hmm.
And my number 6 is, I did that one. My number 5 is Twisting the Night Away, which is another cover.
I am.
Number 4, You Wear It Well. Number 3, I Know I'm Losing You, yet another cover.
Oh yeah, great cover right there. I remember hearing that. The drum solo during that track, phenomenal.
Yeah. My number 2 is Reason to Believe, another cover.
Yep.
And my number 1 by him pretty much has been since I first heard it, Maggie May.
Oh yeah, about a woman saying goodbye to this dear loved woman that he loved, but yet treated him wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, sad. Which I think we all been through that position many times in the past. There.
Yeah. Okay. My next one is a cat by the name of Chapin.
Oh yeah, we know this guy. This was the guy who wrote that song "Taxi" years ago about a taxi driver who runs into his old girlfriend as she hitches a ride in his taxi there. In fact, around 1981, he wrote a sequel to that track there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as I think I mentioned this before in that previous episode, he was one of the first musicians next to George Harris, to organize, against world hunger there. I guess he had a couple of meetings with then President Jimmy Carter about that issue.
And he went down in a plane crash.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. That's, this is probably the best reason, for musicians, if you're on the tour, to stick with the touring bus. Needless to say, there, unless you have to fly over to overseas to do shows, whether it's Europe and England or whichever where there.
Yeah. Well, my number 10 by him is a song called "What Made America Famous." My number 9 is "Sniper."
Ah.
My number 8 is 30,000 Pounds of Bananas.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
It's kind of an amused, lighthearted song.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, by that title. My number 7 is "Flowers Are Red." My number 6 is a sequel. My number 5 is "Dance Band on the Titanic."
Oh, wow.
Number 4 is "Taxi." Number 3 is a song called "Six String Orchestra," which is, I don't remember what album it's on, but that's another lighthearted song, but it's a pretty good one. My number 2 is "WOLD."
Yep.
And my number 1 is "Cats in the Cradle."
I knew that song had to be included in there. It's a very touching topic in that song. It's like a father that's away from his child for so long. He keeps promising we'll get together, and eventually the son kind of pays him back when he's busy with his life.
Right. Harry was quite a songwriter.
He was, and sadly, unfortunately, taken from us from a plane wreck, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
The next one is another Harry. Harry Nilsson.
Harry Nilsson. I think it's Nielsen or Nelson.
Well, it's Nilsson, I think, but it could be wrong.
Yeah, because I remember him. He was the guy who wrote "Everybody's Talking" that was featured in the movie Urban Cowboy.
Yeah. Well, actually, Midnight Cowboy, but that's okay.
Midnight Cowboy, that's right. I guess that was one of the first movies to have to talk about what was it about? Homosexuality, I guess?
No, it was about a guy that went to the city to become a gigolo. It was one of the first X-rated movies that went mainstream.
Yeah, I heard about that, man. It was that X-rated movie there. I was thinking, what kind of movie? And that featured Dustin Hoffman, if I understand, as well.
Yep.
And he played it. He played a gay man in that movie there, I guess.
No, I don't believe so.
I don't know, because I never really got the full information about that song there. So you have to forgive me, folks, about that situation.
Okay, my number 10 by him is something Three Dog Night covered called One.
Ah.
And my number 9 is Gotta Get Up.
Mm-hmm.
My number 8 is Take 54.
Mm-hmm.
My number 7 is Coconut. You know, you put the lime in the coconut and drink it all.
Oh,
You
man.
probably heard the song.
Yes, I have. It was featured in a Coke commercial when they started coming out with here's the thing. They did this little, they kind of like did this little cheesy intervention of that song. Their twists, I guess you could say, you put the lime in the Coke, you nut.
Right.
that was around the early 2000s when he started doing that there.
Yeah. And my number 6 is a song called Spaceman. My number 5 is You're Breaking My Heart.
Mm.
My number 4 is, I don't know whether he's the cover, Without You.
No, actually, it was
I think
originally, but
yeah,
it was,
Badfinger wrote that song.
yes, Tom Evans
Harry
and
Nelson's
Pete
the
Ham.
cover.
Yes, it was. Hart also did a version of that song. And of course, Mariah Carey would do her version later on, I guess, in the 90s there.
Well, the best version is Badfinger's,
Mm-hmm.
but Nelson's a close second.
And what's even sad is that Tom Evans and Pete Ham, the two dudes from Badfinger who composed that song, they both ended up committing suicide because of management issues.
Yeah. And my number 3 is a song called Me and My Arrow, which is actually a TV special.
Ah.
Pretty good song, though.
I see.
My number 2 is Everybody's Talking.
Oh, yeah, the one I mentioned earlier.
And my number 1, he did something called Jump Into the Fire, which was a out-and-out rocking song, which you wouldn't expect it from Harry Nilsson.
Wow, interesting there.
Let's see. My next guy is a guy that started out with a group called the James Gang, went solo.
Oh, we know
and then
that.
went into the Eagles.
Yep, and still had a solo career in between that as well. Came up with some really good stuff there and some pretty unique album titles.
But wait, what was the name?
Joe Walsh.
Joe Walsh.
Yes, I saw him live in concert last year at the Eagles.
Yep.
Wow.
It's great.
Yeah.
My number 10 by him was a song he did called Life's Been Good.
Oh, yeah, we know that song pretty well.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, great song there.
Number-
That one.
Yep.
Yeah. Number 9 I got is Help Me Through the Night. Number 8, Time Out. Number 7.
Wait, about that Time Out song, what year? What was that, in the 70s or was that 80s?
Yes, it was.
70s?
Yeah.
Time Out. I think that's familiar. Was there a music video to that or no?
No, they didn't have music videos back then.
Oh, you said so it's the 70s. Okay, I thought you were talking about the 80s.
No.
All right.
My number 7 is a song called Turn to Stone that he actually did twice.
Oh, yeah. Interesting enough, when I first started learning, I stopped playing the guitar for about 1988 until 81. And my mom and dad got me this teacher here who'll come over once a week, play all these, teach me some songs there. And one of the first songs he taught me was Turn to Stone by Joe Walsh.
Yeah, because it's got a pretty nice little riff in it. My number 6 is At the Station.
Yep.
Number 5 is A Life of Illusion.
Oh, yeah. Good song there. I remember the video for that. You ever saw the video for that song there, YR?
Well, that's the thing. Wasn't Joe Walsh... See, I don't want to sound dumb, but did he have music videos that were famous?
Yeah, not that all
he might
famous.
have had 1 or 2, but
because there's one that's there's a reflection pool or reflection pond type
that
deal.
sounds like my number 1 song, but we'll get to that one.
Oh, okay. So I'm not. Okay.
Yeah, because I believe you're correct.
I'm on to something. All right.
My number 4 is Welcome to the Club. It's another one most guitarists learn.
Yep.
My number 3 is Rivers of the Hidden Funk.
Mm.
My number 2 is Rocky Mountain Way.
Yeah, good song there.
Yeah, everybody learns that one.
Yep.
And my number 1 is The Confessor, which
Oh my
I
gosh,
believe
good
he's
song there.
correct that that video featured him in a reflection of some sort.
Pretty much,
Right.
yeah. You know, him playing guitar, do a solo somewhere in the desert there.
Yeah,
Yes, the
there
desert.
was
Yes.
there was a video for that one.
It was, yeah. I remember seeing it there, yeah. It's and also here's something else. You know, the Rocky Mountain Way, the slide guitar, and that was done by the late great Glenn Frey.
Yeah.
That's one concert. That's one group. If whenever they tour again, which they do have dates up, but I recommend anyone, any age. I mean, there's 20, 30 songs. When I saw them last year, they played for 4 hours.
Mhm.
I mean, it sounds just like off the record. Singing's
The
great.
best part is they don't just play Eagles; they also go into Joe Walsh's solo catalog.
Yeah, they do that. Some Don Henley's, Boys of Summer.
Yep,
Yeah.
they have, yes.
I mean, for a group that's so many years old, they really do sound just as good as ever.
Yeah, they do.
Today,
I know a friend of mine from saw them at the Little Caesars Arena in back in Michigan. She posted it
very
on.
pricey.
Yeah, man.
Very expensive though.
I know it is. And plus, also credit to Fleetwood Mac because their last tour with Neil Finn and Mike Campbell from the Heartbreakers, Tom Petty's old band, they was very diverse as well. They did their Free Fallin' from Petty, in homage to him because remember Stevie Nicks and Petty did Stop Dragging My Heart Around and another song around around 81. And plus, Neil Finn from Split Ends and Crowded House, they did the 2 hit songs that he did with each band.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a diverse show for what I understand from people I heard who went and saw that.
Okay, my next guy is a guy by the name of James Taylor.
Oh yeah, we know this guy pretty much. And I think Scott is in my chat under an offensive name here. And I may have to get rid of him because of that name.
If you want to make me a mod, I'll help out with that.
All right, I got it. Wait a minute. I'm going to hide
You
this
got it?
here. Sorry, Scott, but when you come in anyone's chat under the N word, I'm sorry, but that ain't condonable in my channel. Sorry, homie.
I thought I'd heard somewhere that he had changed his ways.
No,
I guess not.
Nope. He's not going to change. He's one of those cats that says, "I'm going to change. I'm going to be I'm going to go straight," but it turns around and goes right back into that rut.
Yeah. Okay, my number 10 is one called Traffic Jam. Yeah, damn, that's Traffic Jam. Got to get home, my supper be cold. Good little song. It's
all right.
Essentially a cappella with some drumming. There's no instruments. And I say drumming, actually it's like hand claps and stuff like that.
I see there.
Number 9 is Carolina on My Mind. Number 8 is Country Road. Number 7 is...
That's different from the
John
Denver song?
Yeah, it is.
All right.
Number 7 is Your Smiling Face. Number 6, I believe, is a cover, How Sweet It Is.
Yep.
Number 5 is Steamroller. Number 4 is a song written by someone else, You've Got a Friend.
Oh, yeah. I think it was Carole King who wrote that song.
Yes,
yeah,
that is correct.
Yo, is that the Toy Story song?
No.
I don't know. It might have been. I don't know.
You Got a Friend in Me. Does it go like that?
No, it's close.
No.
That's not it.
No, that's a different one you were thinking of, I remember.
And James Taylor, most of his songs, he's acoustic guitar, correct?
Correct,
Pretty
yes.
much, yeah.
Absolutely.
Softer. Like, what genre would you say James Taylor is?
It's kind of like soft rock, I guess you
It's
call it, or adult
adult
contemporary.
or middle of the road or adult
Adult
contemporary.
contemporary.
Yes,
Yeah,
Yeah.
adult
correct.
contemporary. Yep, yep.
Kind of like the same vein of Neil Diamond, Harry Nilsson that we mentioned earlier, and of course,
Brian Adams.
well,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
that's later
Yeah.
on in the '80s there.
Although
The
Brian Adams is more of a rocker.
Yeah, Matt, yeah, he is.
You wouldn't
The
call it. You wouldn't call it like '90s Brian Adams adult contemporary.
Well, mostly that because most of the rock, some of the bands from the 1980s would later find new homes in the adult contemporary stations there,
Yes.
Yeah,
Go
including
ahead, my
Def
bad.
Leppard.
yeah.
Yes, major adult contemporary.
I know,
Major.
yeah.
My number 3 is Shower the People.
hmm
Number 2 is another cover.
hmm
This is a cover of an old Dennis Shannon song, Handyman.
Ah,
And my number 1 is Fire and Rain.
which, by the way, it was
There's
about
an
written.
interesting story about that.
Yeah, a friend of his committed suicide, and he was and that was his way of writing in his honor there.
Right. Okay, this is quite a little leap here to the next one.
Yep.
Guy by the name of
Here it
David
is.
Bowie.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow.
The Thin White Duke, ladies and gentlemen.
The '70s.
Yep.
'70s.
Yeah, he started in the 70s.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He bled on into the 80s and 90s too.
Yep.
He's pretty much relevant for a long time.
Many all-time
And-
relevant.
And we do need, and after the list, we definitely should touch on, his death.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't really know.
Absolutely.
I don't even know what happened. But I mean, I don't even know what he died.
It was
of.
the big evil C, and he kept that hidden from many for a few years there until we all
Oh.
found out.
Wow.
My number 10 is Golden Years, which was a pretty big hit for him.
Mm-hmm. States in the Station, that album from '76, I guess.
Yeah. My number 9 is Scary Monsters.
From 1980, the album of the same name,
My number 8 is Young Americans.
which, by the way, featured Luther Vandross, rest in peace, on the backup vocals of that track.
My number 7 is Ziggy Stardust.
Which Bauhaus, the goth group from the covered in, I guess it was in '79 or 1980, I guess, did a pretty good job of that.
Yeah. My number 6 is Changes.
Great song there,
My number 5 is Fame.
which featured John Lennon on the rhythm guitar on that track there, by the way.
Yeah. And my number 4 is Rebel Rebel.
Oh yeah, from Diamond Dogs, good
Yeah.
song there.
My number 3 is 1984, his
Bas-
version.
Yep, the which by the I guess you could probably say was inspired by the George Orwell book there.
Yeah, almost anything titled that was, including Spirit.
Yep.
My number 2 is Space Oddity.
Oh yeah, classic song there. Great use of the mellotron on that song there.
And my number 1 may surprise you.
Okay.
Heroes.
Oh man, no, actually, it's not a big surprise when you think about it there because that song was a big hit there, and also I guess it was him and what's his name, Tony Versace, I think his last name was pronounced. They did a lot of great work there. He also worked with Brian Eno on a few of those albums as well. And that song, by the
Well-
way, featured Robert Fripp from King Crimson on the guitar.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that.
Yep.
That Fripp was playing in that song.
Yep.
And if you ever heard the King Crimson version of that song, you
I
can
have.
tell.
Yep, absolutely. And the King Crimson we're referring to was I guess it was the
Blue one.
Blue with Adrian Belew. Again, that was later on
Yeah.
in the 2000s there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's lots of permutations of King Crimson, but almost all of them have Fripp in them.
All of them, because he's the only one running there. He was the only original member holding on to the group,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess currently right now, I guess it was in their let's see, their It's their 7th lineup with the 3 drummers there, I guess.
Wow. And if you've ever seen any of their videos, they play some interesting instruments.
They have, yes. I remember seeing them twice in 2001 and 2003 there. Pretty good stuff there. I mean, like, it's the first time I heard of the Chapin stick and the war guitar used in that group there.
Yeah.
And if you're going to learn how to play the war guitar, God be with you, because that is a massive guitar to learn there.
Yeah.
And by the way, it's a pretty heavy guitar, so you got to be pretty strong as hell to even have it around your shoulders there.
Here, I gotta come out of the call and to bring Keith in. So I'm gonna call you, Dr. Brown.
Okay, definitely
No,
get him on.
I'm here. Why am here?
What?
Okay.
You all right,
Hey,
Keith? You what, Keith?
Next guy I got is Stephen Stills.
From CSNN
and Buffalo Springfield.
Yep, and Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Crosby, Stills, Nash Young as well.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
My number 10 is a song called Turn Back the Pages. My number 9 is a song called Change Partners. My number 8 is his cover of a Neil Young song, Loner.
Ah.
Yes.
Number 7 is Circling. Number 6, Isn't It About Time?
Mm-hmm.
And I said about because that's what he says in the song.
Ah.
And my number 5 is a song called Bluebird Revisited, which basically he kind of revamps the old Buffalo Springfield song.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4 is a song called Marianne. Number 3, Love the One You're With.
Which
everybody knows that song.
Yeah.
And which, by the way, Luther Vandross did his version years later on, which was pretty damn good.
Yeah. My number 2 is It Doesn't Matter, which he actually did with Manassas, but it's him.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And I think Firefall did it later also.
Yeah, I see, yeah.
And my number 1 is a song off that same album called What to Do, which basically he's saying, I don't need you to tell me what to do.
I see there.
Something like that. Great song.
All right.
And on the next one, we're going to haul in YR.
Okay.
Sammy Hagar.
Oh yeah, we got to give this man credit. Yes. Okay, Wire, what's your list for the Red Rocker?
Let's see. We can go with, and this was a song, I believe in the 90s, called Mas Tequila. Have you heard of that one? Mas Tequila.
Yeah, I heard that song. Yeah, definitely. That was after he left Van Halen. The split between him and Eddie there.
It's 1999. 1999 on that one.
Uh-huh.
I'll try to give you 10. I didn't have enough.
Okay, you want me to do my 10? I mean, number 10. My number 10 is I Can't Drive 55.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Classic.
Yep.
Played on the radio a lot. Big
radio
song.
I'm coming tomorrow.
What's your number 9?
That wouldn't be my number. That would be high. That would be lower on the list. Eagles Fly. How about that one?
Pretty good song there, definitely.
Yep.
Yep.
My number 9 is a song called Turn Up the Music.
Is there a I Can't Stop Loving You? That's Sammy Hagar solo, correct?
I think so.
I believe you're correct.
Yeah, I believe. I'm
very good song.
Mm.
Very underrated song. I Can't Stop Loving You.
My number 8 is Your Love Is Driving Me Crazy.
Oh yeah, that was from 1980. That's when he first signed with Geffen Records there.
No, the truck.
Ooh, what the heck?
Keith, mute yourself.
All right.
What's next one you got there, YR?
What about the song Red, 1977?
Yeah.
No surprise there. That's his favorite color there.
Yeah.
Throughout the 1980s, every outfit he wore on stage and in the videos, he's always wearing red.
Red guitars.
Red outfits there. Mm-hmm.
My number 7 is a song called Never Give Up.
All right, let's throw in. There's Only One Way to Rock.
Oh, yeah.
Good song
that
there.
one, 1981.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Standing
Okay,
Hampton, the album.
My number 6 is a movie song, Pastimes at Ridgemont High.
Oh, wow. The song, that's the name, that's the song of the same name, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah, nice.
And heavy metal.
Oh my gosh. Which one do you prefer? The one on Standing Hampton or the one on the original soundtrack?
Probably just the regular standard one.
Oh no. Well, there was 2 versions of that song.
Yep.
The one that there was a lot more powerful production on the soundtrack version, and the one on the Standing Hampton version was kind of toned down a little bit. So I prefer the soundtrack version. It's on YouTube, dude. Look it up and definitely crank the bitch up there.
Yes.
And of course, Blue Oyster Cult did a heavy metal, but I don't think it was anything to do with that. It was just their thing. My number 5 is Three Lock Box.
Good song there.
Next, on you.
Oh, keep going. I think I ran out.
Oh.
I got There's Only One Way to Rock.
Yeah.
Number 4. Number 3 is here somewhere. Heavy metal.
Yep, as I mentioned.
And my number 2 is I've Done Everything for You, which he actually let Rick Springfield cover.
Yep.
And my number 1 by him is a song called Remember the Heroes.
Great song, which by the way is a duet with him and Mike Reno of Loverboy.
Yeah, but that was a pretty nice little song.
It is, and Memorial Day is going to be coming up pretty soon, if I'm correct, right?
Yes.
Well, this weekend.
Yes, well, definitely this coming weekend, I urge all the stations here in the state of Texas, great state of Texas, to start playing that song a lot.
Yep.
For all the people, men and women out there who gave their lives so we can barbecue, drink beer, ride our motorcycles, crank our guitars loud so we can cuss on YouTube streams.
Right.
Everything. Yep.
Okay, my next bunch is going to be really mellow people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to have a male artist, and I'm going to dip basically into female artists.
All right.
Okay, the male artist is Cat Stevens. Who, he gets a bad rap, and that guy had some great music. Mm-hmm. And nobody plays it anymore because of the Muslim thing.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's what we got to touch upon. He got into the Islamic stuff there. He changed his name to Yusuf Islam. And I guess, he's been preaching. He got himself in big trouble, I guess, in 1989 because of the, I guess it's with regard to the book, The Satanic Verses from, what's that guy's name? Rushdie, I think it is.
Rushdie, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot his first name there. And I guess he had some words about it. And I guess, a lot of record stores, had a little bit of list of things to be considered when it comes to this guy, He got himself in big trouble for some things he said there.
Yeah. But he was definitely a well-crafted songwriter.
Mm-hmm, yes. Wild World.
My number 10 by him is a song called Sitting.
Mm-hmm.
My number 9 is Moon Shadow. My number 8 is on this list somewhere. Mm-hmm. Morning Has Broken. Number 7 is How Can I Tell You. Number 6 is Oh Very Young. Number 5 is Another Saturday Night, which is a Sam Cooke cover, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Number 4 is a song called Can't Keep It In. Number 3 is Wild World. I knew I'd get there.
which a reggae singer named Maxi Priest and later Mr. Big would later cover.
Yeah. My number 2 is a song called Boy with a Moon and Star in His Head. And my number 1 is something called Angel Sea, which is not typical Cat Stevens. Uses a lot of synthesizer. But it's a pretty nice little song.
Interesting there. Because we just usually know Cat Stevens with his acoustic guitar there.
Yep. And then, like I said, there's some pretty good stuff by him that just nobody hears anymore.
Other than that, just Wild World, that's about it. That's the only one they usually play on the stations of today, unfortunately, there.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to dip into females now.
All right, there we go.
My first one is a young lady by the name of Melanie.
Oh, I think I've heard of this lady one time. I remember I had the Woodstock 2 on cassette there, and she did this song.
Oh, my, she was big in the 70s.
Oh, wow.
In fact, a couple of songs, when I name them, you'll go, oh, I know that song.
Oh, wow.
Okay, she did one called Peace Will Come, number 10. Number 9 is In the Hour.
Mm-hmm.
My number 8 is Brand New Key. Don't tell me you've never heard that song. I've got a brand new pair of roller skates. You got a brand new key.
I think I have, possibly.
That was her biggest. No, second biggest. We'll get to the biggest one.
All right, there.
7 is Nickel Song. And number 6 is Christopher Robin.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5 is Ring the Living Bell. Number 4 is I'm Back in Town.
Uh-huh.
Number 3, What Have They Done to My Song, Ma? My number 2. Oh, wait, that was my number 2. What the heck was my number 3? There you are. Beautiful People.
That's the song I was referring to on that Woodstock record there.
Yeah. And my number 1 was probably her biggest song. Some call Lay Down Candles in the Rain. And that was huge. Okay, the next 2 I'm going to talk about. I only listed 5 for them because I didn't have time to get to 10.
Wait, hold on.
Keith's back.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Keith. Keith?
Oh, my God.
Okay, we held up.
All right. Meredith Brooks has a song called Lay Down Candles in the Rain.
Who does?
Who?
Meredith Brooks.
Meredith
Brooks.
She's a pop rock singer.
It's probably a cover.
Yeah.
Right.
Keith, where you at, man?
Yeah, you sound like you're in a tunnel or something.
No, you sound like in the bathroom stall.
I'm taking a piss.
Oh, thank you,
Oh,
Sharon.
my God. Oh, just tell everybody, why don't you?
While I'm at it. Okay, like I said, I only did 5 for these next 2. First one is Stevie Nicks.
Oh, wow.
A lot of her best stuff is from Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
She has good
No
solo
surprise.
stuff, but the stuff from Fleetwood Mac is enormous. And when we do Fleetwood Mac, we'll get into that.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not surprised. Sir.
Yeah. Number 5 is a song called If Anyone Falls in Love.
Mm-hmm. From 1983.
Yeah, so you know these songs.
Yeah.
My number 4 is Stand Back.
Yeah, from the same year. They still play that on the some of the classic rock stations, as well as the at the Kroger's, Walmart, loudspeakers at times.
Oh, yeah. Number 3 is Stop Dragging My Heart Around.
Which she did with Tom Petty back that year, 1981 as well.
My number 2 is a song called Leather and Lace that she did with Don Henley.
Yep. That was a big song.
And my number 1 is something called Edge of 17.
Oh yeah, also from 1981. Most of these are from the Belladonna record that year.
Yeah,
That was her
yeah.
first solo record, and I'm not too sure what that song was about. Was it about the detail of troubled youth, for all I understand?
I'm not real sure on that one, but it sounds like it. Yeah.
Hmm. I should probably look it up. I'll probably look it up here. Edge.
Did you say Leather and Lace?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like that song. I
Yeah,
Yeah,
heard
it's a
it.
cover she did with Don Henley.
Yeah,
from
I
the
heard it
Eagles.
in Flanagan's, and then
Yeah.
after I heard it in Flanagan's, I went home and listened to it.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a real nice song.
You're talking about Stevie Nicks, right?
Yes,
Right.
we are.
Okay. Yeah, it is a real nice song.
The other artist that I'm going to touch on that didn't get a list of 10, but I did get 5, is Judy Collins.
Oh yeah,
That woman has an amazing voice.
yeah. But I understand she was also part of the trial of the Chicago Eight. For I understand.
Probably so. I don't know.
You know, because the Chicago Eight was Abby Hoffman, Jerry Dixon, and a couple others there. And it was involved with the Chicago riots in '68, with from I understand when that old bullshit went down.
Yeah. Yeah. My number 5 is one that she did. It's actually a cover of a Joni Mitchell song,
Hmm.
Chelsea Morning.
Ah,
My number 4 is Both Sides Now, which I believe is her own song.
ah,
Number 3 is one called Someday Soon, which has a real country sound to it. But it's a nice little song. And number 2 is an awesome, amazing a cappella version of Amazing Grace.
ah.
I mean, it's a cappella, and she does a great job with it.
Wow, interesting there.
And my number 1 is something called Send in the Clowns.
Ah, that was her big one right there, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the song Edge of 17 right now, and according to this, the lyrics of that song expresses the grief resulting from the death of Stevie Nicks' uncle Jonathan and the assassination of John Lennon throughout
Wow.
the same week in December of 1980.
Holy cow.
Yeah, interesting. I thought it was about somebody. I always thought it was about talking about a troubled youth that she knew or something like that. But actually, it was also the title came from the conversation that she had with Tom Petty's first wife about the couple's first meeting.
Yeah.
Mm.
Excuse me. Next one I got's another young lady that's highly talented,
Hmm.
Joni Mitchell.
Oh my goodness, yeah. She was the one who wrote that song. What is it? Put up a parking lot, I guess. What is the name of that song? Because I heard it
Big
a
Yellow
couple.
Taxi, that's my
Big
number
Yellow.
10.
Nah, that's the one. Because I remember Counting Crows did a version of that song. I remember hearing that when I was working at the Kroger in Richmond, Michigan in the early 2000s.
I know the Counting Crows version.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, they pay Paradise and put up a parking lot.
Yeah.
Hey. Mm.
And I don't know what the Counting Crows version sounds like, but I can't imagine it being like hers or even close to it.
It's something like close.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's
Yeah.
like ha-da-da-da-da-dee-da-do. Ha-da-da-da-da-ba-da. How does it go, Keith?
They painted they painted paradise and put up a parking lot. Ooh,
Ooh, la, la, la. Yeah, I remember
Yep.
that.
yeah.
Hmm. Yep.
In the end, she does a real neat thing with her voice where she goes real high with it and then brings it real low.
Ah.
And it's really interesting to hear the way she does it. And my number 9 by her is her cover of Both Sides Now.
Ah.
And to be honest, I don't know if she wrote the song or Judy Collins did.
I know though those two did that song pretty well, from what I understand there.
But Joni Mitchell generally wrote most of her stuff.
Ah.
My number 8 is Chelsea Morning, another one that Judy Collins did.
Mm-hmm.
My number 7 is another song she wrote that you know by other people.
Yeah.
And I say other people, Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Woodstock.
The song Woodstock, yes. She was
She
the one
wrote
who,
that song.
she wrote that song, not the boys there.
Right. Number 6 is Coyote.
Yep.
Number 5 is I wish I could read my writing. Raised on Robbery.
Ah. That's an interesting title there.
Yeah. My number 4 is This Flight Tonight, which
Nazareth did
covered
a cover on one of their later albums there.
Yeah. Number 3 is a song called Help Me. And number 2 is Free Man in Paris. And my number 1 is actually a combo song. It's a song called Trouble Child and Twisted.
Ah.
And it's kind of an interesting song because she's playing around, but it's really nice the way she does it.
Ah. Now, from what I understand, later on in the 70s, she kind of like drifted towards the more jazz-like mode there, if I
pretty
understand.
much.
Because I remember, there was watching a little special on her as a wee teenager, and I guess she kind of drifted towards that, Kind of tried something new, I guess, from what I understand, was the main motive there.
Yep. And my next one, my 10, she's known as a strong writer. She wrote a lot of songs, but she did a lot of her own too.
Yep.
Carole King.
Oh man. And it was, I guess, she was the one who, I guess she started writing, I guess, in the 50s with, what was his name? What's his last name? Coffee, I guess it.
Coffin.
Coppin and
Goffin.
King. Goffin.
Yeah.
Ah, there we go.
Goffin.
All right. What is this guy's name? Jerry Goffin, I guess?
Jerry Goffin.
Ah, there we go.
Gotham, yeah.
Yeah. And I guess they were married at the time they was composing together. I guess that marriage broke up. She decided to go as a solo act, I guess.
I think so.
Yeah. I know she's did that one album called Tapestry, which was a big, humongous hit for her.
Which is a classic. In fact, about a third of these songs, or half of them, are going to come off that album.
And I guess that album's finally got reissued. And I guess we're in the 90s. A lot of artists from that decade kind of paid tribute to her by doing their cover of various songs from the album. And I guess they called it Tapestry Revisited, I guess.
Yeah. My number 10 is a song called Home Again. My number 9 is here somewhere. It's Going to Take Some Time. My number 8 is Where You Lead. My number 7 is I Feel the Earth Move.
Yep.
Number 6 is Bend to Canaan. Number 5 is Sweet Seasons. Number 4 is Corazon. Number 3 is So Far Away.
Which is
Number
still
2.
played on those stations at times.
Yeah. Number 2 is It's Too Late.
Heard that song just as well, yeah.
And number 1.
Wait. Is that the song where it goes, it's too late to turn back now?
No.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No, that's a different one.
Yeah.
All right.
And my number 1 is a song called Jazzman,
Ooh.
which basically The Simpsons made famous.
Oh, wow. Interesting there.
It was featured in an episode where Lisa had a friend that was like a jazz musician.
Yeah.
And when he died, they played that song.
And for the record, Keith, that it's too late to turn back now. I believe I'm falling in love. That's done by the Cornelius Brothers with Sister Rose.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Okay, then we'll dip into another one from this era, Carly Simon.
Oh my goodness! Believe it or not, her and James Taylor were married together. Believe it or not, if anyone never knew.
Yeah. And my number 10 was a song that she did called The Carter Family.
Uh-huh.
My number 9 is, I'm going to learn to write in English.
Ah.
We Have No Secrets.
From the album of the name No Secrets,
No
so I
Secrets.
understand. Correct, yeah.
Number 8 is Right Thing to Do off that same album. And my number 7 is a song called You Belong to Me, which she did a version, but we also know the Doobie Brothers version.
Yeah, we also heard the I guess it was the Michael McDonald version and the Anita Baker version just as well.
Yeah. My number 6 is
And Taylor Swift had a version of that.
You Belong to Me?
Waste.
Oh no,
Yep.
it's You Belong with Me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Number 6 I got is Anticipation, which a lot of people know as the catch-up song.
Oh my, oh my gosh, dude. Let me get some times right
What?
about that. Yeah, it was. I remember.
think so.
Yeah, it was. I get that was used in a ketchup commercial because Heinz had this reputation of waiting how many minutes for the ketchup to hit the burger and anticipation for this the ketchup to hit the damn bread and French fries and
Yeah.
that.
Which like I said, a lot of people know that as a catch-up song.
Yeah. Gosh.
And number 5 I got is That's the Way I've Always Heard It Should Be.
About a couple that's going to plan on getting married.
Yeah. Number 4, The Right Thing to Do. Number 3, Haven't Got Time for the Pain.
Yep.
Number 2, Nobody Does It Better, which is a James Bond song.
Yep. From The Spy Who Loved Me, if I'm correct.
Right. And number 1 shouldn't be a big surprise. You're So Vain.
Oh yeah, which if I understand, there is a profile. It's about a self-absorbed lover who Carly says. You probably think this song's about you, and the title subject's identity has still been the longest speculation. Now,
Yeah, and she never revealed it.
Yep, exactly. And she said that the song refers to 3 men, only one of them who she has named publicly, Warren Beatty, the actor.
Okay, that's not a big surprise.
Yep, and plus we all know who does the backup vocals on the chorus there.
Okay.
Yep, we all know. We all know. We
Right.
know. Yep, so we all know. YR knows. Keith knows. Everybody knows who the individual
I don't
is.
know.
You don't know? Mick Jagger.
Nope.
Mick
Oh,
Jagger,
okay.
Yeah.
the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
You know that,
All right.
Keith, you know that song, I can get no
Satisfaction.
satisfaction. And I try, and
Yeah.
I try.
One of the
You know,
original
it's-
rock and roll players. God knows how many chicks he embedded.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the next one, technically a group, but I don't consider it a group. I consider it a solo artist that just happens to be a group. And that's the Carpenters.
Oh.
Karen Carpenter is the Carpenters.
Yeah.
I mean, let's make no mistake about that.
Yes.
The absolute
Yes.
voice. And sadly, as we mentioned in the last episode, it took her 1982 death to make us all aware of what anorexia nervosa what is. Because that's what she was going through at the time throughout the 70s and 80s there.
Yeah, and that girl was fabulous. I mean,
Great Christmas album. Christmas Carpenters.
oh yeah, she
Yeah.
had at least 3 of them.
Yeah.
And my number 10 by her is Close to You, which everybody knows that song.
Yep.
My number 9 is We've Only Just Begun, which is another big one. My number 8 is Top of the World. Number 7 is, this is going to surprise you, Calling Occupants of Interplanetary Craft. They did a cover of the Klaatu song,
Ah, interesting.
and they did a great version of it, really. My number 6 is Only Yesterday. She liked to sing about the old stuff, and she did a good job on that one.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Number 5 is For All We Know.
Hmm.
My number 4 is Goodbye to Love. And then 3 is a Leon Russell cover, A Song for You. My number 2 is Yesterday Once More. We're back to Yesterday.
Yep.
And my number 1 will probably surprise you too.
Mm-hmm.
Superstar.
Oh, I'm not surprised. Did you ever hear the Luther Vandross cover of that song?
No.
Oh, you're missing out, man. You are so missing out. Dude, give Luther credit. He would take a simple ballad from either Dionne Warwick or Karen Carpenter, and he would arrange them into massive, major epics. He did that with Superstar, and he did that with A House Is Not a Home. Much credit to him for that.
Yeah. But that's the kind of song you wouldn't expect it from Karen Carpenter.
Yeah.
And yet she did a fantastic job on it.
Yes. And here's something. I was looking up the illness that she was going through. You know, she started dieting back in high school under guidance of the doctor. She started this thing called the Stillman diet, which was eating lean foods, drinking 8 glasses of water 8 a day, avoiding the fatty foods. You know, she reduced her weight to about 120 pounds, stayed approximately at that weight until about 1973, when she started reaching their peak, the Carpenters that is. She saw a concert photo of herself, which her outfit made her look heavy, and she got herself a personal trainer who advised her to change her diet. That new diet caused her to build muscle, which made her feel heavier instead of slimmer. You know, she fired a trainer, started her own weight loss program, used the exercise equipment, counting calories. She lost about 20 pounds and intended to lose about 5 more. You know, her eating habits also changed around this time. She would remove food from her plate by offering to taste to others who she was dining with at that time. And around 1975, into September that year, she weighed about, get this, 91 pounds. At live performances, fans reacted like, when they saw her appearance, and many wrote to the pair, her and her brother Richard, to find out what the heck was going wrong. She refused to clarify what was going on. She didn't state that she was in ill health. In a nationwide appearance in 1981, she said that she was pooped. You know, Richard later stated that he and his parents did not know how to help Karen. That same year, she told Richard that there was a problem that she needed help with it. She spoke with a dude named Cherry Boone, who recovered from anorexia, and contacted Boone's doctor for some help. Now, she was hoping to get back to the solution to her problem, as she's had performing and recording obligations. She also had a solo record that she recorded that sadly I don't think ever got released. One of them included a disco track. Why, I don't know, but at that time, every artist had to follow along with that damn mode.
Yeah.
And now, the doctor told her treatment could take about 1 to 2, 3 years. She chose to be treated by some doctor named Stephen something there. I can't pronounce the last name. And around 81, she started using this thing called thyroid replacement medication, which she obtained by using the name Karen Burns to increase her metabolism. She used that medication in conjunction with increased consumption of laxatives, which was up to about 80, 90 tablets per night, in which she long relied, which caused food to pass quickly through her digestive tract. And despite the treatment that this other doctor was doing, including compensation of medications that Karen had misused, her condition continued to deteriorate, and she lost more and more weight. Karen Carpenter later told the doctor she felt dizzy, that her heart was beating irregularly, and finally in September of 82, she was admitted to Lexington Hill Hospital in New York, where she was placed on a intravenous
Intravenous.
Intravenous parental nutrition. Now the procedure was did pretty well. She gained some weight in a relative short time, but this put a strain on her heart, which was weakened from the years of improper dieting.
Right.
And you got to remember, this affects your muscles, and the heart is a muscle just as well. She maintained a relatively stable weight for the rest of her life. She returned to Cali in '82, determined to rejuvenate her career, finalize her divorce, begin a new album with her brother. In December that year, she gave her last singing performance on the multi-purpose room of the someplace in Sherman Oaks, California, singing Christmas carols for her godchildren, their classmates, and other friends. In January of the following year, '83, she made her last public appearance at a gathering of past Grammy Award winners, which were commemorating the awards show 25th anniversary. She seemed somewhat frail and wore out, but according to Dionne Warwick, she was vibrant and outgoing and exclaiming, "Look at me, I got an ass." She also had begun to write songs after returning to California, told Warwick that she has a lot of living left to do. And February that year, she saw her brother for the last time and discussed new plans for the Carpenters and resumed some touring. 3 days later, she was scheduled to sign some final papers to make that divorce official. Shortly after waking up that day, she collapsed in a bedroom in her parents' home, and paramedics found her heart beating once every 10 seconds. 6 beats per minute. And she was pronounced dead at the Holyoke nearby hospital at about 9:51 a.m., sadly. Wow.
Yeah.
Girls out there, if you're listening, don't be worried. Don't do this kind of stuff so you can look like these models, man. Be you. Don't be like these scrawny bitches that you see on the runway. Be yourself.
Right.
But don't go overboard and eat a whole bunch of shit there, because you'll have problems just as well.
Yep. Okay, my last, and I'm glad Karen was my last. One that's a solo artist that I have is a lady by the name of Linda Ronstadt.
Oh, man. Who sadly had to retire from performing and singing because of Parkinson's disease.
Yep. My number 10 by her is a song called Different Drum, which actually was her first. Written by Michael Nesmith, of all people.
Yeah, Texas, from the Monkees, a Texas native.
Number 9 I got is Love is a Rose, which I believe is a Neil Young song. Number 8 is something called Silver Threads and Golden Needles, which is a big country song. My number 7, here we go with that. I can't read my own writing. It's So Easy, which I believe is Elvis Costello.
Yep. Elvis Costello?
I believe.
It's So Easy.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I've heard that version many times. I think that was from the 1950s.
Yeah. My number 6 is Poor, Poor, Pitiful Me, which I think is Warren Zevon. And I'm guessing.
I'm thinking maybe, so who knows?
My number 5 is When Will I Be Loved?
Which was, I guess, was done by the Everly Brothers, if I'm correct, originally?
Yeah.
Yep.
Number 4 is You're No Good. Yeah, she's pretty much a cover artist.
Yeah, which, by the way, Van Halen did their version on their second album in '79, by the way.
Yeah. And my number 3 is an old Roy Orbison song by the name of Blue
Bayou. Yep.
And my number 2 is Long, Long Time.
Yep.
And my number 1 by her is Love Has No Pride. which I believe is a J.D. Souther song.
Mm. Is that guy still around, by the way?
J.D. Souther?
Yeah, I wonder because he sang. He did. You remember the James Taylor song "Her Town"? He was.
Yeah.
I guess he was a co-vocalist on that track there, and he did a lot of writing with the Eagles here and there.
Yeah, and he did some of his own stuff.
Yeah.
He did an album with a band that he did. Well, it's not really a band. They only did one album that I know of.
Mm-hmm.
Souther, Hillman, Furay,
Mm-hmm.
which was him, a guy from the Byrds, Hillman, and Richie Furay from Buffalo Springfield.
Mm-hmm.
And that had some pretty good songs on it, actually.
Okay. Souther. Okay, let me look it up here. The guy. I wonder where. I was wondering if the guy's still here. He's still around. He is.
As far as I know.
Yeah, surprisingly. You know, he's a singer, songwriter, actor. He wrote songs recorded by Linda Ronstadt, and he's 75 years old.
Wow.
He was born in Detroit, Michigan. Yay!
Yeah, for some reason I had in my mind he was the guy that went out to camp in the desert and died in the desert, but that was Graham Parsons.
Oh yeah, that's definitely Graham Parsons there, definitely, man. He's still
Yeah.
around. You're Only Lonely. I remember that song from 1979.
Yeah.
That's one of his solo hits there. All right, so okay, so why are you
That's
still
all
there?
I have in the way of solo artists
All right.
list, but that doesn't cover all the
Yes.
solo artists.
All right, now, why definitely? You said you wanted to dig into David Bowie a little bit about his death and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, as
Yes.
you know, it's still missed to this day. David Bowie, passed away in 2016. It was a shock to every one of us. It was even shocking to know that he had cancer, which he kept private for a couple of years there. You know, all the in fact, right now, Numbers nightclub. I know around his birthday, I guess in January, they have a thing called the Bowie Night on a Saturday where they play nothing but Bowie. Bowie here, Bowie there, you name it there. Clips from the 70s, you know. Because when the concert
Did you go? You go on the Bowie nights there?
Yes, I did. Yes,
Wow.
believe it or not, yeah, it was pretty good stuff there. Because you got to give Bowie his due. He was like one of the most real. He keeps himself relevant in any way he could and succeeded. You know, he did it the right way. Whenever something got too popular, he tossed that and come up with something new there. He also did a lot of good acting there. Remember The Man Who Fell to Earth from 1970, I guess 5 or 1976.
Yeah, and he was in,
Mm-hmm.
oh shoot, what was the name of that movie?
Labyrinth.
Labyrinth, that was it, yeah.
Yes, with Jennifer Connelly. He was also featured in a movie called Into the Night with Jeff Goldblum. I guess Michelle Pfeiffer. I guess he played a villain in that one. And he also portrayed Andy Warhol in some indie movie about some other New York artist there who is no longer with us. I cannot pronounce the guy's name there, but he made an appearance in that movie. We cannot forget Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence, and of course The Hunger with Susan Sarandon.
Yeah, and he also did a really famous bit with on a Bing Crosby special where
Absolutely
he and Bing Crosby sang. Well, they sang Little Drummer Boy, but then he went into something else.
He added some extra lyrics.
Memorable.
Absolutely.
Performance.
Absolutely, man. Every Christmas they still play that on the stations there. When all these adult contemporary radio stations, you know, they play enough of a Christmas music from November to the end of December there. Rest assured, their version of that track played a lot.
Yep.
Played a whole lot, you know. And let's not forget he had a band they did 3 albums. Tin Machine, the band there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mm-hmm. He worked with Queen, the song Under Pressure from 1980. Right. Big, humongous hit there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And when I did my list, I certainly left off some good stuff. But
I know. That's one of the reasons, like I said, many times it's hard for me to do a list because I'm forgetting this, I'm forgetting that. And then eventually I just say, fuck it, you know.
Yeah. Well, I just kind of figure pretty much people. I try to make the list where it's something unusual, songs that you may not have heard other than a few,
Yep.
just to kind of pique interest.
Hmm. Now, we got to get into this. Marilyn Manson. As you know, he's wanted on arrest. I guess he's wanted for a 2019 assault in the state of New Hampshire. Now, here's what it says here. This is from the CNBC here.com. Police in New Hampshire say they have arrest warrant for Brian Hugh Warner, aka Marilyn Manson. In a Facebook post Tuesday, the Clifford, police department said the musician, who's in his 50s now, is wanted in connection with a misdemeanor assault that took place in 2019. The police said that 2 counts of misdemeanor simple assault are related to an incident that took place at the Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion that involved a video photographer who was shooting the video. Manson performed a concert at that venue in August of that year where the assault allegedly occurred. It was unclear what transpired during that concert, but the person shooting the video, who was subcontracted by a company to record the concert, was in the stage pit area when the assault took place. Mr. Warner, in this, apparently, the police department said, quote unquote, Mr. Warner, his agent, and legal counsel have been aware of the warrant for some time, and no effort has been made by him to return to New Hampshire to answer the pending charges. Now, Manson, his attorney there also said that the claim was ludicrous and they are committed to cooperating with local authorities. Now, King, the person told the New York Times that that the guy shooting the video had asked for more than $35,000 after a small amount of spit came into contact within their arm. So a little bit of spit that came out of Manson's mouth hits the guy's arm, and they're consider that assault?
Apparently so.
That's kind of awkward for me because, back then when you spit on someone, it's not really the same as pointing out a weapon and sticking it in their face or firing away. But I don't know, it's kind of confusing me because back then when somebody spit on you, you punch them right in the jaw.
Yeah.
You got a fight going. That's an assault right there. Now, this warrant comes as Manson is already shrouded in massive controversy over the sexual assault situation. One of the victims, Ashley Morgan, did an interview with People magazine not too long ago, describing the whole situation. It was a couple years where he basically brutally raped her and beat her, I guess. In fact, one of his couple of his former partners, Evan Rachel Wood included, have already the musicians had been accused of abuse by 2 former romantic partners. And of course, the musician has denied these charges. Now the Special Victims Bureau or Special Victims Unit, at the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Office began investigating the domestic allegations against Manson this past February. And he was also dropped by his record label, Loma Vista Recordings, I guess, and his appearance on American Gods was removed because of that. So, YR, did there YR do? Yeah, what do you think about this? You accidentally spit on someone that's considered assault?
Well, I saw pictures and stuff, and I think, isn't that part of Marilyn Manson's stage gimmick where he spits at people or throws alcohol out or stuff like that, or no?
I'm not too sure. Manson's been known to do a lot of crazy things there on once in a while. I know you look at some of the earlier footage from before he got signed and made it big. He was like doing something with chicken feet here
Yeah.
over some fire there. But but the thing that really kind of puzzled me when the thing with Evan Rachel Wood situation came out, he told Spin magazine he had these fantasies about bashing her head in against the wall. And I don't know if he did that as a joke or as a publicity stunt or something like that. Because as a while, Manson hasn't really been that kept himself relative for how many years now. He still tours, but he has the only thing they play on on the radio is his older stuff, like The Beautiful People, and that's pretty much about
Right.
it.
Yes.
They're not going to play Cake and Sodomy because they have to edit out some words there, plus the title alone.
Yeah.
And now, so I guess I'm not too sure. He's a shock.
Well,
rocker.
he has the other stuff pending too. His
Mm-hmm.
harassment, sexual harassment stuff.
Sexual assault. Yeah, I know.
Right.
4 women came out at the same time Rachel Evan Wood did. It's
Was
just
Rose McGowan one of them?
Well, she wasn't. Well, she was not abused. I thought she was at first, but turns out, the engagement that she was involved with him apparently ended because of drugs. Well, I understand. That's what she said on the Howard Stern interview. No, she said
I know one song from Marilyn Manson, "Disposable Teens."
Yeah, from 2000. Yeah, but do you all know the other songs like
No.
like Beautiful People, Irresponsible Hate Anthem, Cake and Sodomy, Lunchbox, Get Your Gun.
I might know Beautiful People, but that's it.
Oh, you gotta start listening to those albums, man. Like Portrait of the American Family, Antichrist Superstar, Hollywood, Mechanical Animals with the Dope Show, and I Don't Like the Drugs, but the Drugs Like Me. Which, by the way, when you listen to that track, kind of resembles Bowie's Fame.
Yeah.
When you think about it there.
Well, I like the John. Are you a big John 5 guy? You like John 5?
Well, John 5, you gotta give this man credit. I'm glad you brought that dude up. His real name is John Lowry, and I remember seeing him play with a band called Pepperland at the Ritz in Roseville, New York in Warren, and Harpo's Concert Theater in Detroit, all in Michigan, of course. And he was a shredder then. He's a shredder now. And he would later leave that group, move to California, and wouldn't you know, boom, he makes it big with Marilyn Manson, Rob Zombie. He does he's doing his own thing. He's now with a project featuring Nikki Sixx of Motley Crue, and I guess Rob Zombie, if I'm correct as well.
Mm-hmm.
And this man deserves a lot of credit because I remember him from back in the day, doing some good songs like Kiss, I Stole Your Love, and One by Metallica, and of course Eye of the Beholder just as well. So let's say, I guess you could say I have some old memories of Mr. Lowry before he became John 5. And credit to him for proving that talent, good-ass talent, will take you far. And another thing
we got to dive in. Go ahead.
Quiet Riot?
Yes.
Yeah, we do. This is from loudwire.com here. It says Quiet Riot is going to do some tour dates in 2021 and 2022, months after the death of Frankie Banali, their drummer. And it was his continuing wish that Quiet Riot continues. But the thing is, I don't think I want to see him, this particular Quiet Riot, because the only main member that we know was Chuck Wright, who was their original bass player, who played on one studio album in the 80s and on the song Mental Health. And when you think about it, it would have been nice if Rudy Sarzo and Carlos Cavazo would return to that fold there, because
Yes.
Kevin DuBrow is no longer with us. He passed away in 2007. Frankie Banali's gone as well last year from stage 4 cancer. And I don't know. It just seems like it's like it's the brand, not the band anymore. And I'm just sorry. I just have no really interest in supporting a band that, who I used to know as its older classic form, now converted into this group of unknowns.
Yeah.
I think the lead singer is former American Idol top 3 winner or something.
Well, the singer they got right now is
The new one.
Jizzy Pearl, who has a band on the side called Love Hate. They released a couple albums in the 90s there. He also did time with taking Stephen Pearcy's spot in Rat a few times there. And I guess, but at the same time, I can't, I'm sorry, I cannot support Quiet Riot, you know. It's just, and so, kind of sad when you think about it. Back in '83, they were playing these large arenas. Metal Health, the Slade cover of "Come On Feel the Noise" was a massive ass hit. It was all over the radio, all over the old MTV airwaves. It was everywhere, and it's like now they had to resort to playing small clubs. When I saw them back in, I guess it was in 1994, I guess, or 93 or 91, it was hardly anybody, people really paying attention to them, And it's like, but then again, you also got to remember, their frontman, Kevin DuBrow, did, kind of like put him, he had a reputation for being a massive big mouth. In the line he says, "I have a mouth like an alligator." That's correct. Because he talks smack about Motley Crue, called them posers. He said Ozzy Osbourne sings like a frog. He said about this musician. He said that about that musician there. And that pissed off a lot of people there. So I guess, a lot of ways, and if you may remember, people my age, you may remember, he got booted out of the group because of that. They issued a statement that they couldn't go on because of the situations that DuBrow had put him into. So, quite right, as you know, they're going to be doing some club dates, and I'm looking at the lineups here. I guess it's Austin, Texas, which is a private event. And nothing in the Houston area. That's nothing in Michigan so far.
Listen, that Dawkins show in Houston's, I think it's sold out.
Right. I would not be surprised. I would not
Big show.
Yeah. Wow. Let me check it out. What's it called? The Arena Theater, I guess it's called.
Yeah. Keith.
Okay. Keith, you there, dude?
Yes.
Yo, what's up, dude?
What's up?
Yeah.
What did you do today, Keith?
Not much.
You went to the record store, got the new AC/DC album.
No, I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go to a record store. I don't even go into FYE in the mall.
What?
What? FYE for your entertainment? Is that store still around?
There's a couple.
What?
Most of them went out of business. There's a couple still around.
Wow, I'm surprised it's still around altogether, because there's no Harmony House. There's no the only record store I know of is a place in the Old Town Spring area called Space City.
Yes.
There's like eight malls around me, and 2 of the malls have FYE.
Oh wow. Because the FYE, I remember it was, had everything, music, whether it's CDs, cassettes, even music instruments and the things that are associated with it, like guitar straps, guitar tuners, you name it.
Yeah, now they sell record players. They sell out records.
Yep.
I mean, I had an idea for FYE.
Vinyl, right?
Yes,
Yes, they got them at the
but
Walmart as well as Barnes and Noble included.
yeah, but I never told FYE my idea because they went in before I got to tell them. They went in the opposite direction. I was
Oh.
gonna tell them it should be like, all right, have you guys ever been to Night Zone back
Uh,
in like the 90s, early 2000s?
Night Zone, is that a club?
No, no, it's like Discovery Zone at night.
Mm.
And they have the glow lights, they have like
Oh,
drinks that
Discovery
go in the
Zone.
dark.
Mm.
Yeah, and so like I had an idea to turn like FIE into like a night zone, where it's like it's like kind of like a nightclub, sort of like playing cool music and like with the the dark light and stuff going in the dark and um
What?
but they went in the opposite direction. Now they have like
Mm.
vinyl and record players.
So it's going to be strictly that, I guess.
Yeah, and they have CDs too.
Yeah,
They
but
have a whole
probably
bunch
most
of
likely,
CDs.
well, really, because I know at the Walmarts near where we live and a couple others we've been to, they have lots of vinyl and very small selection of CDs. Whereas back
Yeah.
in the years before, they had a whole about 2 or 3 racks full of those things.
Now, would you see this concert?
Which one? What?
Well, no, Cynthia Woods, September 9th, Korn and Stained. Stained's
No.
back.
No, I don't
Really?
like. I don't like Stain. That I was never into Corn.
What?
Never really cared for
Yo.
Corn.
Keith, you're a big Korn guy, right?
I am a big corn guy. I love corn.
See, that's when
I
you
mean-
gotta go. That's when that was what, like late, like 1999, maybe early 2000s when that like rap rock thing came out. Like you know,
Yeah,
the whole
yeah, all that craze with Linkin Park,
1999,
Limp Bizkit,
2000.
Yeah.
Right, all of
Yeah.
that.
the new metal
Limp-
scene. That's what it was
Limp
called.
Bizkit came out in like 1998 or 1999.
That's Keith's
and-
rock. That's what Keith knows about. Keith, you know about the
Yeah,
like a
like,
Benjamin, Limp Bizkit, Korn.
right.
What
Yeah.
about Slipknot? Are you a big Slipknot guy or no?
I've heard a
Yeah,
couple
I
of
am a big
songs.
Slipknot guy.
I heard
am
a
big
couple of songs
Slipknot
are
guy.
pretty good there.
Corey Taylor, you know.
I didn't get into Slipknot till like 2013.
You know what? I'm not a big Korn guy, but I do like Stain. I would definitely go to that concert, but it'd be kind of crazy because the Korn fans, right?
Mm.
I like Stained.
Freak on a
but
Leash.
I wouldn't want
Ah.
to go to their concert. I want to go to a Tool concert.
Yeah, I heard a lot of good things about Tool. Definitely, that's for sure. There.
Yeah. Someone told me you got to go to a Tool concert, and then after that, I wanted to go.
Rod Stewart's got to be at Cynthia Woods.
Oh wow.
Doobie
Now the-
Brothers.
This is going to be all. This is going to be this year or the next year.
It's stating for this year, yeah. Black Crows.
Ah.
I mean, it
Now,
might
is
be. I don't know. It depends. It really depends.
Interesting. Now is now.
I started listening to rock music in 1997.
Oh, I was listening to rock and roll when before I was even 12 years old.
Yeah, I was like in 7th grade when I started listening to rock music.
Hmm.
And I have a story about it. Like I was like my middle school and high school were on the same campus. So it would be middle school and high school kids on the same bus. And so I was in 7th grade, and this really cool guy on the bus, he was like in 10th or 11th grade. He put headphones in my ears. And he's like, "Yo, you got to hear this." And he played Nirvana. I forgot which Nirvana
What?
song he played.
Wow.
And I liked it. And I asked him, "Where can I hear more of this?" And he told me the radio station to listen to. And then that became my favorite station until like 2004. 1997 to 2004, that was my favorite radio station. And then I got into like rap and reggaeton. I got back into rap and reggaeton like in 2004, and then I started listening to rock again like in 2009 or 2010.
Ah, I see there. Like I said, I started with the Beatles cartoon at age 11, and it's just spawned throughout here and there.
Yeah.
Yep, it's just like it
All right.
snowballed upward. Yeah, I guess you could say there.
Yeah. I remember when I listened to the Beatles.
Hmm.
Um,
One of the
Yeah.
you want
greatest.
me to
Wait,
tell that?
your mom listens to the has the oldie station on all the time, correct?
Yeah, she used to, but that oldie station doesn't exist anymore.
What?
They
Really?
changed it to like now they used to play the 50s and the 60s on that station. Now it's changed to like the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Kind of like the classic rock stuff there.
Yeah, no, no, not well. Kind of like they play like Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Oh,
They
one of
play
those kind of stations where they play just about everything.
yeah. They play
I
Guns
know
N'
there was
Roses.
one in the southeast Michigan that was simply called Doug FM, and now we got here in the Houston. It's called the Spot. Those basically it's radio stations for the iPod type of crowd, where they how people check people's iPads and cassettes, where they just got about everything you can think of, whether it's Al Stewart
Yes.
or Marilyn Manson or Earth, Wind, and
Yep.
Fire. That's the kind of crowd that those stations are aiming for there, where you just
Yes.
play anything and everything there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. They play Michael Jackson. They play Guns N' Roses, Hall and Oates, uh, and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
They play.
The extremely diverse crowd, I guess you could say, that they're catering to.
Yep.
Yeah. It's funny, back then when I was a teenager in high school, being that diverse was like a no-no. You had your goth kids, you had your hip hop kids, you had the kids that were into the Prince and Michael Jackson, Rick James, and we had the heavy metal kids that were into Iron Maiden and Priest and that. And other ground bands like Metallica when they first started out, along with Slayer.
Oh yeah.
And it was very segregated around that period.
Yep. When that station played the 50s and the 60s, when I was a kid, every time we got in the car, my mom made me listen to that station.
Wow.
So I listened to it for a bunch of years. Now I know a lot about the 50s and the 60s now
Yeah.
because my mom made me listen to that station every
Oh,
time we got in
Debbie,
the
you should
car.
probably check out the early episodes of me and Arky did months back last year. We were exploring all the musicians and artists around that scene there.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Definitely worth checking out, man.
All right.
Yeah. We even go back further
Motown,
back.
Keith. Motown.
Yeah. Motown.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we got to get out the not the Motown just as well. Yeah. Arknolia, you still there, dude? Brother?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're just listening on the little. We're listening. Anything you want to add here? I guess it would be going off the air pretty soon. I guess Mars is going to be jumping on a little bit. I guess about 8 p.m. here Central.
The only thing I'll mention is the next one we do, whatever that may be, we'll get more into the 70s adult contemporary like groups.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those people.
Yeah, definitely. There's a few out there, like the group Bread.
Oh yeah.
David Gates and his boys there. And of course, we also got to dive into Chicago because they were big on the that scene just as well there.
And the Eagles, Fleetwood Mac.
Mm-hmm, yep.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, it's true there. And we also got to get into some of the other songs. Like I mentioned this one before by Chris Ray.
Yeah.
Food, if you think it's over. Great song, by the way. Great tune there. All right, I guess that'll be it for tonight's episode. This is episode 41 of our Music Memory series. Thank you to YR. Thank you, Keith Barber. And
Yes.
thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, so we got to have
You're
you on
welcome.
next time, dude. Probably this coming Monday. We'll do this again there.
All right.
All right, there. All right. For YR, Keith Barber, Arknolia Strokabine, and myself, this is Arknolia and the Doctor. And we will see you next week. All right. Shout out to Foulmouth Ken, who's live right now on his channel. Go check him out. And also check out Mars Mira. He's going to go live pretty soon with his latest episode of Dirty Rotten Podcast with VP and Nikki Nines. Definitely check it out. You guys have yourselves a good one. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye now.